So, Nathan, Lyon, season 3 of the Test. What do you think of it? Have you watched it?
I've only watched a little part of it, to be honest. I watched the part of me getting injured just to see how raw that was and relive it. And so hopefully I don't have to go through that again. So yeah, that's the only part I've really watched, to be honest. So you can tell me if it's any good or not.
Well, it's very emotional. I mean, you look like a man who was wondering whether his career was over.
Yeah, well, for me personally, obviously playing that test was my 100th consecutive test match, and for me to tick that off and be the first bowler to do that and never be injured along that way, and when you literally hear your calf go, there's a lot of questions that are unanswered. There was a lot of fear there. I didn't know what the rehab looked like. I didn't know what type of injury it was. I didn't know how serious it was. So yeah, there was that fear, and I think I've been very lucky to have some incredible medical staff around me and a family that supports me through the thick and thin to make sure that we're able to do it in extensive rehab to get back. So, but yeah, there was definitely that thought.
Nathan, there's a lot of talk about players playing with each other around the world in franchise cricket. During my time, there wasn't as much of crossovers. So the rivalry of Ashes was massive. But watching this season 3, listening to people in the dressing room, Ashes is still alive, isn't it?
Mate, it's always going to be alive. It's a pinnacle. It's a pinnacle by a long way in my eyes. And as a kid growing up in Australia, I've said this many times. I've got an older brother, and you play in the backyard and you toss a bat up in the morning of Boxing Day before the test match starts, and the losers, it was always England. So you always had the on as soon as you lost the toss. So, but yeah, it started in Australia. It starts from a young age. But saying that, there's also a lot of respect there that a lot of people probably don't see. But there's a hell of a lot of respect. But yeah, it's alive and well. Don't worry about that.
One of the bits that made me laugh, Nathan, was you not holding back on your views about the spirit of cricket.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you expand? Have you changed your mind about spirit of cricket since then?
As I said, I haven't watched it all, so I don't know what moment you're talking about.
Yeah, the spirit of cricket I think it only matters when it goes against you. Many times you stand in the field and you go, well, that's a bit not sure about the line of there, and it's only because it goes against you. In that moment, you weren't there. Well, were you on the field? I'm not sure you were on the field when it happened. Yeah, what was it like in the dressing room? Because you see things in cricket where you go, well, what are they on about?
Yeah, well, you asked it. I find it quite funny, to be honest with you. I find it funny because Jonny Bairstow literally tried to dismiss Marnus Labuschagne like that in the first innings of that test match. And just the pure fact that Alex Carey was good enough and quick enough to do that and got dismissed, then why suddenly is it suddenly a spirit cricket thing? For me, it's out every day of the week. So I don't really know where you want me to go with it, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, let's throw it forward, Nathan, and talk about the next Ashes. So after 2023, when you said that you intended to or would try to play on for another 4 years, be close to 40, a few people raised their eyebrows. But my goodness me, you're almost there, and you seem to be bowling as well, if not better than ever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. That's definitely one eye on it. We've come over here a number of tours, and I feel like the Australian cricket team has really competed over here, and we probably missed certain opportunities along the way, and some great players have played some great innings along the way as well, and have made the difference in different Ashes series. But yeah, definitely one eye for me is still to come over here and tick that goal off, hopefully, of winning the Ashes over here. it's a dream of mine from a young kid, and especially when I first started playing Test match cricket, to come over here and compete, because the hardest thing is to do in Test international cricket is to win away from home, especially series. So that goal is still well and truly alive. But we've got a few big goals to tick off before then. We've got India at home this year, then obviously the Ashes back in Australia next year. So some exciting stuff around the corner.
Yes, and we've seen in Series 3 that you even talk about winning overseas. You won the World Test Championship final. You came over to England, wanting to win the Ashes. Got off to a great start. We've seen the disappointment by the end of that series. Does that show you the desire of this group of Australian cricketers and how much together that you lot are?
Yeah, definitely, mate. I feel like, and I've said this many times as well, I feel like this Australian cricket team that we've been currently a part of now under Ronnie and Pat is probably the closest cricket team I've ever been a part of. There's a lot of guys with a lot of dreams there and a lot of goals there to go and do something incredibly special. So hopefully we can keep doing those little things along the way. And there's no doubt our goal as an Australian cricket team is to become one of the great Australian cricket teams. I'm not saying that we're there yet, and I feel like we've got a long way to go, but that's definitely one of our goals, to make sure that we can go there and try and be a great Australian cricket team. And the only way you do that is win big moments and big series at home and away. So we've got a bit of work to do, but that's definitely on our radar.
Nathan, can I just ask you about Ben Stokes and your views on him? I mean, you spoke about after 2019 about using his innings at Headingley as a great motivation to I don't know, keep fighting back, win the Ashes, and then you faced him last week. I wondered what that was like, playing for Lancashire against Durham.
Well, I did say to Stokesy when he walked out the bat at Blackpool, I said, I'm not going to lie, Stokesy, this feels really weird bowling in this environment, county cricket, when I've only ever bowled against you in big moments, whether it's in Test cricket or the England World Cup game here in 2019. So it was a bit different. But my views on Ben Stokes, I've got nothing but respect for Ben, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's in this is purely my opinion, I think he's in the conversation of the greatest all-round to ever play the game. I don't know, there's some absolute greats to play the game, but for me, and purely my opinion, it's Jacques Kallis or Ben Stokes. And you look at Ben Stokes and the way he's been able to really stand up and basically carry that England side on his back at some days, in some games, it's nothing but respect for him, to be honest with you. So that's my opinion on Ben Stokes.
Yes, I know you enjoyed Lancashire because you've come over this year. There's been 7 games in 8 weeks. There's been a lot of talk about Kookaburra Bowls. You've played a hell of a lot of cricket throughout your career. English cricket always gets compared with Sheffield Shield cricket, especially when we lose the Ashes. If we lose the Ashes, we want to be playing less cricket. If Australia lose the Ashes, we've got to be playing with the Duke ball. All these things happen when it comes to Ashes. How have you enjoyed and what have you made of this 2-month stint of being at Lancashire?
Mate, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, to be honest with you. The county championships is held in very high regard back home. A lot of guys keep an eye on it. You see a lot of Australian guys put their hands up to come over and play cricket over here. I'm getting used to the schedule. It's pretty bloody full on. This is our only day off in between the games, which is a bit different, but Lancashire have been nothing but brilliant. They've been very welcoming. It's a very young team here. We haven't had the start of the season that we've wanted to, but we've had some really good. There's been some really good key moments throughout the season, and hopefully I can play my role in trying to help and guide and pass on a little bit of knowledge here and there. Thoroughly enjoyed working with Tommy Hartley, but he's now off representing England in the white format. But such a young team, and feel like there's so much learning. And I've always said I've never met anyone or come across anyone that's conquered the game of cricket. So hopefully I can learn. I can help these guys learn, and hopefully we can have a couple of wins along the way.
Finally, Nathan, it would be remiss of me and Harmy not to ask you this question. I'm sure you're expecting it because everyone asks you this question now. You get into your sort of, any professional sportsman past 35 is asked, how long can you carry on? How long do you want to carry on? I must say that you, as I said a couple of minutes ago, I mean, you look like you're playing as well as ever. Are you just going to keep going until you wake up one morning and think that's it?
Yeah. I'm never going to put a line in the sand because I feel like as soon as you do that, potential of that line creeping up on you quite fast. I think the injury, looking back at it, I would have liked if it happened at the last test when we were 4-0 up and I didn't have to worry about it. But I think the injury come at the right time. I feel like I was able to go home, rehab, spend some time with the family and reset some goals. I actually watched the football back home, which we call AFL and National Rugby League. We watched that, and I watched the grand finals and saw the heartbreak. I saw the celebrations of guys winning, and I thought, there's no way I'm ready to give up this opportunity. I absolutely love playing cricket for Australia, and I'll never take it for granted. And just want to keep doing my role and keep enjoying it. And hopefully one day I don't get tapped on the shoulder like Jimmy.
Nathan Lyon, thank you so much for your time. It's been a real pleasure.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.